It's normal to have emotion. So emotion is not a bad thing. We have to make sure that we know that. So when somebody says that we have emotions, it's probably not the best way to express that. However, if we look at it from the TCM perspective, it's the imbalance between each emotion is what we need to pay attention to, because that's why we're sick and that's what causes us sick. So it's a vicious cycle. Having emotion is not a bad thing. So it's definitely not, some people said that, oh, I have emotion. It's actually not the best way to describe it. It's more of what caused the emotion to be imbalanced. Like for instance, we have anger, we have joy, we have thoughts, like depressive thoughts, fear, and sadness. These are the basic emotion according to TCM. And different emotion is dominated by different organs. So in TCM, from perspective of TCM, that each emotion is dominated by different organ. Starting from heart dominates joy, and lung dominates sadness, liver dominates anger, spleen dominates the depressive thoughts or overthinking, and kidney dominates the fear. So if everything works in harmony, actually there's no one emotion overacting the other. But sometimes you can see some people would have like excessive anger, irritability, or the hyperactive state of emotion, and then just not happy with anything. Then probably we can start to see some other signs of liver qi stagnation, or to a point that as a liver fire. If we see someone that always overthink about things, and that overthinking gets them tired, gets them sluggish, gets them unmotivated, probably this person is more of a spleen qi deficiency. And so if a person, like, not someone that is always smiling, but more of, okay, hysterically too happy or too hyperactive, then that could be probably some damage to the heart qi. And so if someone, let's say, going through a traumatic experience and then could not stop the sadness, like always feeling sad with other symptoms of like not able to catch breath or feeling tight around the chest, that might be because of lung qi deficiency or lung qi stagnation. So each emotion is dominated by different organ, but they have to work in harmony. So if there's an out of balance of each organ, it can show in the emotion. We have to look at what is out of balance and what is affected. Like for instance, if a person is always irritable, and like for instance, for women, like feeling irritable before the period, then there might be some liver qi stagnation. And of course, if the woman with liver qi stagnation and having issues with uncontrollable anger or always acting out on her irritability, then there might be some liver fire. A lot of time, what we can see is that the liver qi stagnation is probably because that there's a long-standing stress going on, and the person is not able to rest and restore, and then that stagnation just gets worse and worse. Let's look at qi as a river. So if there's a little blockage, like once a while, and we are able to remove it, that's not an issue. But if we keep piling up the blockage, like the rocks or garbage on the riverbank, then it's going to turn into a bigger stagnation and then a vicious cycle. So usually we need to be very mindful about how we eat, how we rest, and how we move. And that can prevent a lot of imbalance in the emotion, in the organ, and in the emotion as well. Of course, I think the prevention is the best medicine. First of all, before we get to that point, we need to be very mindful about how we rest, especially nowadays as a society of, that focus so much on success and making a name. We always on the go, go, go. And it's not a bad thing if we know when to rest, when to replenish, when to stop. And a lot of time, the problem is more of depletion. So when we deplete, then we cannot move. There's no way we move. There's no way we know when to rest, and everything is starting to go out of balance from there. So before it gets to that point of, oh, I'm just so irritable, I'm so depressed, I'm so restless, I'm so sad, I'm so overthinking, we need to be mindful about how we live our day-to-day life. So, but once you get there, once we really have an imbalance, I think acupuncture can be a very good modality to add in to kind of give you a little initial push so that you can get out of the state. Because I think the benefit of acupuncture is that it's a supportive treatment instead of taking over what the body is supposed to do. So yes, acupuncture can be a good way to help if there's an imbalance in emotion. However, always remember that prevention is the best medicine. So before we get there, be mindful about how you go over your day-to-day life. If you like this video, please subscribe and follow me, and I'll see you soon.